Chris Christie has had a good couple of weeks. I mean, the panel that basically he put together has cleared of any wrongdoing. Now, that's not the last we'll hear on that in terms of the bridge closures from last year. But right now things are looking better, and whereas a few months ago people were saying his presidential aspirations were basically gone, now it's looking like he might have a second wind perhaps, especially if Sheldon Adelson drops a few $100 million on his behalf. Now, recently, though, he was at a little roast, and a number of comedians were there. Joy Behar, who's familiar to those of us familiar with Current and all that. Anyway, she was roasting him, and it got a little bit uncomfortable. Let's watch.
It was very brave of him. I mean, he's had a few tough, right, sir? Some tough weeks. Don't look at me like that. You're scaring me. First the Velveeta shortage, and now the bridge thing. I mean, come on. It was bad. And you know, when I first heard that he was accused of blocking off 3 lanes on the bridge, I said, what the hell is he doing? Standing in the middle of the bridge? I'm killing him. But you know, you have to have your eye on the White House. It used to be the House of Pancakes, so you're fucked up.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so I know some people here don't think it's right to be targeting the man for his weight, but that was Joy Behar's main line of attack. What do you think?
Well, of course, I'm the one that I find fat shaming should be not included in these attacks. I just don't think it's right, and we can eventually get away from that. I hope that. I know Joy Behar; she's a great comedian, and I think she can go beyond doing that. That's the easy targeted stuff. The big target, obviously, but still.
You know, the fat
just
stuff.
did it.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. See, it's that easy.
It's all right there. I know, but it's still.
The fat stuff obviously is easy, and we've all done it. It's low-hanging fruit, and you can do it constantly. But I think what the impressive part to me about this is that it is not easy to sit there and tell jokes about someone, whether you're doing the easy fat joke or the more incriminating, you know, real joke. When you're this close, as close as we are, and he is a powerful guy. He is a big,
physically powerful.
Big, powerful man. And it's not easy to do that. And you know, we all watch the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and they take such easy jokes all the time.
Yeah.
So the fact that she was really ribbing him while being that close to him, I think, is worthy of some credit, even though the jokes themselves.
But it's hard at the Correspondents' Dinner too, and that's why some people fail, because they don't know how far to go.
Yeah.
And there is that unwritten or unknown exactly perfect way of getting there.
Yeah.
But it's really difficult. It's what makes the Comedy Central roast and the old Friars Club roast so great, is that they're able to, you know, say whatever they want, do it, but those people know that they're getting everything, and still even some of them are, whoa, I can't believe this is what's happening to me right now.
Well, I mean, that's what made Stephen Colbert so great at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He just went as far as he could possibly go, and we're not used to seeing that addressed to politicians. And so she does go a little bit farther in this second clip. She talks a little bit about his actual chances at becoming president. And these roasts rely not just on choosing the right jokes, but also choosing the right person who can actually take the jokes.
Sure.
And my belief is that from what you'll see in the second video, he doesn't look like the guy with thick enough skin to actually take it.
And I don't know. I mean,
At least I don't get paid for this.
to do this.
The same thing about you.
But you know, I really don't know about the presidency after all. You know, I mean, let me put it to you this way, in a way that you'd appreciate. You're toast, okay? The touchy. Touchy. Not that I care. I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't care how pissed off you are with these jokes, Governor, because first of all, you can do the worst you want on me. I'm taking mass transit home.
Good recovery for her on that one, but still, that is awkward.
I mean, he tried to grab the notes. You know, obviously he was being funny-ish about it, but he tried to grab her notes. That's pretty intense.
Well, and he, we're probably making too much of this in terms of the way we look at Christie. But even in that press conference where he was absolving himself of any guilt because his people had found him innocent, there was a reporter who he challenged. I forget who it was. A male reporter. His first name was Brian. I don't remember who he was with. But everything that people didn't like about Christie before the bridge comes out every once in a while. And there's a little bit of that here, too. Grabbing the notes, not laughing along with it when it might behoove you to laugh along with it, making everybody in the room and watching it a little awkward and a little uncomfortable. Of course, listen, you can respond to a comedian and try and be funny yourself. But there is this sort of, there's the way he presents himself sometimes makes people uncomfortable. Thuggish,
bully.
exactly.
I think that's what I've seen is there's quite a bit of a narrative now that after the Bridgegate scandal has come out that there are reporters digging into his history and they're finding that this bully idea is a theme that is running throughout his history.
And even if Bridgegate is true, right, Desi? Even if it's true, people will look at it, and the fact that it's Christie, you think, well, maybe even if it's not true, that people think maybe it is true because that's consistent with his personality, and that's disturbing on its surface anyway.
Yeah. I mean, so you can look at that, and it's not super high res, and you might think, well, he's sort of laughing. But I have to imagine that if I was getting ready to be roasted and I was thinking about what the worst possible outcome could be, other than breaking down and crying, getting up and trying to snatch things away from the comedian has got to be pretty high up there.
Right, and she was making fat jokes. She's making fat jokes and bridge jokes. Like, he should know going in.
There might be a couple
probably going to go with fat jokes and bridge jokes.
He's rarely walked into a room where people are like telling jokes where a Christie fat joke. He tells them, so he disarms people with them. So.
Yeah, when we'll try to track down video of Jimmy Dore, I imagine that he was even more scathing in his criticism than Joy Behar.